Hi everyone. Today we're gonna talk about the society structure and economic activity of Orang Sungai. This video is made by Jesslyn, Meslin Yusuf, Maruhai, Runte Han, Wesley Sugono, and William Suherman. First, what is society structure? Society or social structure is the distinctive, stable arrangement of institutions whereby human beings in a society interact and live together. It is often treated together with the concept of social change, which deals with the forces that change the social structure and the organization of society. Social structure is sometimes defined simply as patterned social relations, those regular and repetitive aspects of the interactions between the members of a given social entity. Even on this descriptive level, the concept is highly abstract. It selects only certain elements from ongoing social activities. The larger the social entity is considered, the more abstract the concept tends to be. For these reasons, the social structure of a small group is generally more closely related to the daily activities of its individual members than it's the social structure of a larger society. Society structure of Orang Sungai. The Orang Sungai, the Malay word for river people, are a group of indigenous people native to the state of Sabah, Malaysia. The name Orang Sungai is a collective term that was first coined during the colonial British rule for communities living along the Kinabatangan River. The subjectivity of Orang Sungai intersects with other structured subjectivities in two distinct ways. In the first, particularly for laboring class and Malay ethnic identities, Orang Sungai operates through mutual reinforcement, association, and in the case of the latter, a more recent politically motivated dissociation. Second, experiences of Orang Sungai subjectivity are refracted through fields of gender and age, that is to say, a subject's position within the latter may substantially modify the experience and feelings of the former. The Orang Sungai does not desperately clinging to their traditional way of life for survival, although clearly concerned to maintain their traditional livelihood practices. They also actively seek to improve incomes. Villager aspirations for the future are not uniform from one person to another, but they do express interest in maintaining continued access to the forest. But they also want improved social service like schools, hospitals, and better road access, and more wage earning opportunities, and more land security. Leadership system among the society of Orang Sungai. One of the highest titles in the Orang Sungai community is the title of Superior or Supreme Leader, awarded to a chosen leader based on his service and contribution to the nation, religion, and state. While the leader title is another of the second highest titles awarded to a number of elected leaders based on their leadership, struggle, and dedication, especially to the Orang Sungai community. Both titles are endorsed by a special committee represented by all tribal leaders of the river, comprising 30 sub-ethnic groups from all over Sabah, as enshrined in the Sabah River Nation Association, known as Sabah's Constitution. In the Muslim community of the river's people who are Muslim, the Imam is a leader responsible for religious matters, whereas those still embracing animism, their leader is the village head or the elder. The non-Christian communities of the river who profess Christianity are referring to the clergy to settle their religious affairs.
Hi, right now I'm gonna present the leadership system among the society of Orang Sangay. Second part, the tribal system and leadership of Orang Sangay tribes consist of a head of district, the head of the state, the deputy chief of native people, the elder or the village head. They were appointed by the government for their influence and credibility in solving the problem of the people, especially in the tribe custom of the people of the river, regardless of their religious beliefs. The title of Orang Kaya is given to the district head, who is head of district. The title of native chief, who helped administer the district, was named commander-in-chief. The next part is economic activity of Orang Sangay. The economy of the Orang Sangay tribe group depends on the natural resource around them, in line with the emergence of a civilization of those who love to inhabit the river basin. The tribal career of the Sangay people began as a traditional fisherman on the river. Once upon a time, their careers were as timber works and now as river farmers. In fact, the Orang Sangay Asians are well known for their highly skilled and courageous bird nest, and as well as possessing some of the most advanced type of bird nesting equipment inherited from their ancestors. The technique and use of harvesting equipment is still practiced, particularly today in the Kumantong caves, metal caves, and stone caves. In light of a changing time and society, to the importance of education, this society has given birth to a new generation of academically accredited graduates. And today, many have served in various sectors as a fisherman, doctor, lawyers, administrators, educators, corporations, political figures, and more.
Hello, my name is William. I will continuing the part of economic activity of Orang Sungai. So if we look at it today, many rivers people are already in the good economic condition, but some are still in poverty, like Paitan, like in the left picture on the left. The middle is Sugut, and the right side we have Kuamut. Since the British age, many Orang Sungai have been active in economic activities, such as the leading bird, nest traders in the Gomantong and Madai cave. So later on we will show the video. There are two videos of this economic activity of Orang Sungai.
Gua Madai adalah sebuah gua yang terletak di daerah Kunak dalam negeri Sabah. Ia sebahagian daripada kawasan Bukit Batu Kapur di kawasan hutan simpan Batu Rong Madai yang sangat kaya dengan sumber sarang burung walit. Sarang burung walit digunakan dalam sup sarang burung dengan tututan yang sebahagian besarnya berasal dari masyarakat Cina, terutamanya semasa Tahun Baru Cina. 3 kali setahun antara bulan Februari dan April dan antara bulan Julai dan September, pengumpul berlesen membahayakan nyawa mereka untuk memanjat ke bumbung gua ini dengan hanya menggunakan tangga rotan, tali dan tiang buluh yang dilekatkan bersama. Ia merupakan acara perayaan istimewa untuk penduduk tempatan dari suku kaum Idahan yang telah memegang hak istimewa untuk Gua Madai selama lebih 20 generasi.
Saya kini berada di hadapan Gua Madai dan untuk melihat sendiri keunikan sarang burung yang diwarisi oleh suku kaum masyarakat Idaan di Lahadatu ini. Jom kita ikuti laporan yang kami sediakan ini.
Menurut catatan sejarah, Gua Madai telah ditemui oleh nenek moyang suku kaum Idahan yang dikenali sebagai Nenek Apoi ribuan tahun dahulu. Cicit Nenek Apoi dikenali dengan gelaran Raja Abdullah juga dikatakan telah memeluk Islam dan menjadi antara individu terawal memeluk Islam di pantai timur Sabah ketika itu, sekaligus memberi impak besar penyebaran agama Islam pada ketika itu.
Pada mulanya, nenek kami bernama Nenek Apoi, ataupun ditemui gua-gua batu, iaitu 4 tempat, iaitu Terpadung, Beturung, Madai dan Segarung ataupun Tegarung.
Sehingga kini, proses memungut sarang burung Gua Madai masih menggunakan teknik tradisional yang amat berisiko tinggi.
Semua mendapat bagian masing-masing lah, mengikut daripada dia punya jurai dan pembagian lah setiap pungutan pada bulan 4, musim bulan 4, 8, 12. Kerana dalam setahun 3 kali pungutan. Harga pasaran sekarang di masa bulan 4 ni mencecah hingga ke RM3,000 lah sekilo.
Generasi terkini, pewaris pula bertekad akan memastikan warisan turun-temurun Gua Madai akan dipertahankan.
Kami sebagai anak-anak belia di Gua Madai ini akan mempertahankan hak kami di Gua Madai ini di bawah naungan Pertubuhan Pewaris Idan sampai akhir hayat.
Selain tarikan sarang burung Gua Madai, turut mempunyai sebatang anak sungai dinamakan Sungai Madai yang mengalir merentasi ruang dalam gua. Selain itu, ia menempatkan beberapa keranda purba dipercayai milik nenek moyang masyarakat Idahan berusia antara 4 hingga 5 abad.
Next slides. There are still numerous of orang sungai who have valuable in oil palm plantation. And then the next, in order to increase their economy, the Orang Sungai Tribal Group has built limestone caves in the ancient coffin to build a new tourist site. There is also a video for this part. Please enjoy. And
keranda-keranda ini kalau mengikut statistik yang kita dapat masih ada sebanyak 2.000 lebih keranda yang berada di rata-rata tempat, seperti satu contohnya di Miasias Kinabatangan dan begitu juga di tempat-tempat yang lain. Mungkin dikumpulkan di Batu Tuluk, di Agung Batu Tuluk, Batu Putih, barangkali itu sesuatu yang agak sukar. Karena di Gua Agung Batu Tuluk itu mungkin tidak mencukupi kalau mau tempatkan semua keranda yang ada di Kinabatangan daripada suku kaum Orang Sungai ini. Tapi mungkin sementara mencari kaidah macam mana mengumpulkan semua keranda itu berada di satu tempat setelah penyelarasan dibuat. Barangkali keranda-keranda itu juga ataupun di mana juga keranda itu berada boleh disorkan kepada pihak kerajaan atas persetujuan ini ada pimpinan di peringkat kampung atau juga kerajaan supaya ianya bahkan menjadi satu daya tarikan kepada info ataupun kepada aktiviti pelancongan. Juga keranda-keranda ini berada berhampiran dengan keluarga yang punya keranda itu sendiri. Jadi bila ini pun satu faktor kekangan, bolehkah keranda-keranda yang ada ini kita bawa berpindah dari satu tempat ke satu tempat. Asal saya rasa barangkali tuan punya keranda itu ataupun keluarga atau waris yang punya keranda itu pun mempunyai pendapatnya sendiri ataupun pendiriannya sendiri. Jadi itu saya kata tadi rancangan untuk memindah keranda ini mungkin agak sukar. Namun apa yang barangkali ini mana yang ada kita selenggara seperti di Batu Tulung itu kita coba perbaiki suasana yang ada, mungkin kita naik taraf dalam konteks keceriaannya dan mana-mana juga tempat-tempat yang mempunyai keranda yang ada sekarang ini kita promote melalui pihak kerajaan supaya barangkali ejen-ejen pelancongan ini dapat mengambil manfaat daripada sinar ini.
That's it for our presentation. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a good day.